As always, the first thing I do is make room for my crystal buildings and max the crystal mine. No exceptions. You should always do this, regardless. I've said this before and I always say it. This is the way. Don't skip this part. Also, the same thing with each KVK. Each KVK start is hectic. There's a lot of things to do, especially if you're in a new format, and this is no exception. The first thing I noticed is obviously no fog, and all these new game modes have no fog, and coming from a heroic anthem background, this is such a welcome change. Not because I really dislike the fog, it just hinders your progress and slows you down a bit. And I always clear it in the first week, not because I want the rewards. When the Chronicle comes, I just do it because I hate seeing like patched map, where I want to see the whole map right away, and this is what this game mode does. And the second thing I noticed is the new tavern, the Aspirant Tavern, and the quick glance I got over it is it's pretty much like an autarch tavern, and I made a video about that, how effective and worthwhile that is. So I'm just staying away from that unless I really need those extra heads to max Sargon, which I honestly will need if I want to use him in this KVK at his full capacity. So that is something I'll take in mind. This will be a longer video than usual, but don't worry. As always, I'll put the timestamps in the description and in the pinned comment. Even though the reset for my time zone where I live, it's usually either 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. But I always make sure to wake up or be up just to stay and configure the first 30 minutes to an hour to set everything up. And honestly, someone who plays for such a long time and is going from an off season where you don't do much and then you do almost a lot of things right away at reset, it's refreshing. It kind of gets you going, and it kind of reminds me of the way I played in the first like 6 months of the game, where every time you log in, there's always something to do, there's always something to progress, upgrade, and things like that keep you engaged for a long time. And definitely at the start of my playing journey, I really anticipated each day and really looked forward to it. And the way that KVK is set up, the first like day or two is like setting a foundation for everything. So I always make sure to, regardless of the time, to make the time to actually make the best start I can. Over the years, some things have changed, like the crystal technology and the orders. And honestly, this current crystal tech is, I would say, worse for the free to play, because in the last one I was able to get like improve morale relatively early on, but now to do that I would need to be like all the way up to the third echelon of the tech. So I'm not a fan of that, but overall, like the economy side of things, it's better, but the prerequisites are something that's, I would say, a nerf for the free to play, which is obviously bad, but it is what it is. I'm not the one to complain, and because playing this game is a choice, no one is making you to, and I see a lot of people just complain for everything, for every single update. They always find something negative to say, and some things are, justified, but most of the things I think people just like to complain for the sake of complaining. It's easy, and people like to find people who share that same view and just pile on the negativity, but I really don't want to be in that crowd. I play this game because I've been playing for a long time. It's honestly a habit by now. I play for the people, and I'm playing for an audience who can learn a thing or two from me, which honestly, after 5 years, is something that I'm glad to do, because I think I have enough knowledge to share with you, and I have the confidence to do that with each video I put out. Going a bit off topic, but as you can see, my resources are really low, but that is completely on me. I did farm, but not, extensively. Not every day. I haven't logged into my farms. I haven't really grinded Marauders as much as I thought I would. But this is the timing of the KVK. It's in the middle of the summer. Vacations, family gatherings, things like that. So it's obviously gonna take a little more time away from the game, and I do not regret those things. And especially in the coming days, I will be unavailable. But this is a promise I will try to keep. I want to make weekly videos, so every week from now. So I'm gonna upload this on Wednesday. So I'll try to upload every Wednesday in the KVK just for you guys to see how I progress, how I do things each week, and then maybe you get an idea what to do when you reach, Season of Conquest, when you reach this KVK format, things like that. I know from my previous Siege of Orleans KVK, I did videos like this, and honestly, I've noticed quite a lot more views and engagement, but maybe because it's the new format and people didn't have any other place to look at the new format. We were one of the first ones to be in it. And this format is interesting because of the artifact system, and basically lets you choose to switch, let's say for example, an infantry commander to a cavalry commander, or vice versa. But the trick is you can only do this like once on one troop type with one march. And I've definitely given a lot of thought on this, and I've discussed with my friends. And it's tough because the way I run my setup is 2 infantry marchers, or even 3 if you count Trajan, and then I have 1 cavalry and 1 archer march. And the problem for that is, like, the infantry, if I want, I don't think it'll do as much damage as the other 2, but that's just how the way I started to play the game. I started to play the game as like an infantry main because in the earlier KVKs you had commanders like Richard, Martel, Alexander, and Guan. So I really went that way, but that was like 3 to 4 years ago. And now there is some resurgence within the infantry community with the new infantry skin, and now the civilization and the commanders. And I'm definitely wanting to revive that playstyle back to myself because I am going for that infantry skin. I am going to max Sargon, and I'm not going to invest into Zhuge Liang, and probably not even the new cavalry, because I want to have almost enough or enough sculptures to max the new infantry open field commander. The good thing about the new commanders is usually one is really for rally or garrison, another is just for field. So you don't need to hoard like crazy amount of sculptures. If I gather around like 400, I will be happy by the time the new infantry comes around. And those are my plans for like till the year ends. So it's like a 6-month plan down the road. By that time, I want to obviously get more kills. This is a good matchup. I've never been in an Imperium. I mean, I've been in an Imperium, but we never had like this type of matchup where it's like 2 camps against the rest. There's like we're going against, I would say, 9 kingdoms. And that is ambitious. I've never been a part of that, and I'm obviously excited. I always want to fight. And when it comes to actual kingdoms, I don't do my research, and it's maybe a mistake on my part, but I really don't care who it is on the other side. I just want to show up, help my kingdom, help my friends, and enjoy the process. I think that's a relatively good mindset to have when I play, and I don't want to like be opportunistic and be selfish when it comes to things like this. Maybe I could have been, but maybe my stats would have been better, and they probably would, but I would not play in that mindset. The marches I plan to use, I would say without the artifact. So Guan with Sargon, Scipio with Alex, Nevsky with William, Boudica with YSG, and Trajan with Mulan. Now with the artifact, I do have like two options, and maybe you can help me out in the comments if you played this KVK format before. And essentially, it's either Guan with Nevsky with the artifact, or Scipio with Nevsky. And I would have like, if I do Guan Nevsky, the other infantry march would be Scipio with Sargon, which is really good. And if I do the Scipio with Nevsky, then I will have Guan and Sargon as the second infantry march. In both cases, I will bring back Saladin from retirement, but I'm confident to do this because my cavalry gear is honestly the best gear I have on my account. So the fact I can use Saladin with a relic, by the way, with William, I think it could be just enough. And in both cases, I am planning to use that because I don't have any other like viable combos. I know Saladin is a bit outdated, but it's just what I have, and it will be, I think it will do better than I expected to do. So if you have any comments about those two pairings that I mentioned and experience in this KVK, then please let me know. I'm eager to hear some thoughts about it because I'm still not 100% decided what to do. What I do know is, if you compare it to Siege of Orleans, this KVK format has a lot more pass action when it comes to rallying and defending. That is something our group excels at. We've been doing it for years. We know the whole drill. And by the end of this KVK, I hope to answer, is this KVK like optimal for a free-to-play? Because I will speak from experience. I still haven't obviously done any fighting, done anything else. So that is like the main question I hope to answer in the next 49 days. So with that all said, if you guys like the video, subscribe. I know this has been a longer one, but we don't enter KVK every day, so I find it justified. Join our Discord, and I will see you in the next one.